Hello there! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Paul, and just wanted to get a little bit of story time out of the way about this book. This book is The Hero and the Crown by Robin McKinney, and I read this book when I was in high school, and the story stuck with me even though I couldn't remember the name of it, and I just lost track of it all. Fast forward to me joining the military. The year is 1996, and it's towards the end of the year. I don't remember exactly when, but I do remember that my friend B and I, and there are two people in this story. I will refer to them as B and S because I don't know if they want this whole story out. It's not that bad though. So we are in the barracks in San Angelo, Texas. For those of you who are thinking, oh, Texas, that place is really populated. Well, San Antonio, Texas is. San Angelo is a very tiny place with an Air Force base there. We were living in the barracks. And for those of you who don't know, there's a few things you're going to need to know. Barracks are dorms, basically. The day room is a room where we would all congregate together and watch the one big TV at this point. We were also in training, so we weren't really moving our stuff around a lot. So if you had a TV, that was like a really cool thing. But most of our TVs were 13 to 17 inches, and most of the day rooms had one like 50-inch TV. Now it was probably real projection or a giant CRT or something like that, but we had one big TV to watch. So my friend B and I, we were like, all right, we want to go see a movie, but he doesn't have his truck yet. His truck is being shipped from a place, and it takes a long time to get there, and it wasn't there yet. So we decide, all right, here's what we'll do. We'll go down to the day room, and we'll just say, hey, anybody who wants to go see a movie, if you can drive us there, we will pay for your ticket. And since we're all at this point military intelligence, we all have security clearances, at least most of us do, unless they're waiting. And anyways, but we finally get to the day room, and we say, hey, we want to go see a movie. Can anybody drive us? And S says, sure. S is very tall, and she lives up on the third floor and has a room by herself. Will become important later. But so we go. Uh, S super cool. Gets along with B and I really well. We're talking on the way there, and on the way to the movie, maybe it was afterwards. I don't remember, but I was babbling like I am now, and I mentioned that there was this book that I read a long time ago. Da 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 da. And I explained the plot, and she's like, "I've read that book." Which was weird because I don't run into many people that read the books that I read because I kind of jump all over the place. But so we go to the movie theater and we watch Romeo plus Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare's, the one with blanking on his name, Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Awesome movie, phenomenal. Basically uses modern context, but all of the old worldy speech. John Leguizamo's in it. Oh, I I want to find the alternate universe where John Leguizamo was the breakaway from that movie. Anyways, so we go and watch the movie. We're having a great time. We're like, hey, let's hang out afterwards. So my friend B goes to the Class 6, which Class 6, for those of you who don't know, is the liquor store on post. It's basically a place where it's easy to just like, hey, if you're under 21, you have no business being in there. If you're over 21, awesome. So he goes in there, gets us a drink. Now, B and I both have roommates, and B's roommate was cool. My roommate, he wasn't uncool, but like we weren't friends. Uh, So S is like, well, I don't have a roommate, and the room across from us is not occupied. So to set this up, the way these barracks were set up is that the rooms were two occupant rooms. There was a bathroom in the middle that was shared, and then there's a two occupant room over here. This is temporary, so it's not really like you don't move in. You just kind of like put your stuff in the wall locker, lock it, and then live out of your duffel bag for a couple months. Not uncommon in that time frame. So we decide that, all right, we're going to follow the rules, which this never would have worked, but because the room adjoining to hers doesn't have anybody in it, technically it's not a male or female's room. Since females aren't allowed in males' rooms and males aren't allowed in females' rooms, we decided that that was neutral territory. So we start hanging out, drinking, we're talking, and we're just having a great time. And at some point, I start rubbing her shoulders. And she throws out the line, if you keep doing that, I'm going to take my shirt off and have you do it for real. Me going, okay. I continue. So she eventually takes her shirt off. B is also there. So B and S and I are all here. And so she lays down and takes her shirt off, and I continue massaging her top. B massages her feet for a little bit, and then B stands up and says, well, it's getting late. I think I'm going to go turn in. And without missing a beat, I go, yeah, me too. And we both say our goodbyes and leave. We get outside, the door gets closed, we get about to the stairwell, and he turns around and he's like, I was helping you out. All of the signs were there. You might have had sex tonight. I was like, what? No. She was just being friendly because I was naive and very innocent at the time. Probably still am, but that's a story for another time. Anyways, so fast forward to a little while later, run across S again. S is in a different class from us, so it's kind of hard to hang out in different rotations. I don't know how to explain it. Imagine like different grades in high school, but really compressed. So B and I are hanging out, doing things normally, but it's just too cool. And then come to find out, S finds out the book, and she gets it for me. And I'm remembering this way out of order, just so you know. But the other cool thing that she did is that I was on the first floor on the inside of the quad, which meant I got absolutely no TV reception. I had a TV that I bought, I don't remember when I bought it, but it was a VCR TV combo, I think at this point. And it was a thing to watch the VCR. My roommate had a stereo system, and he would hook his stereo system up to my TV, and then he would play Twister. I remember that. Maybe that was somebody else's roommate. Might be confusing that. Anyways, so S and I basically hung out every time Xena Warrior Princess was on. And I would basically go up and lay down so that my feet were technically outside of the room. So I wasn't completely in the room, still breaking the rules, but most of the drill sergeants at that point were like, Aldrich is just weird. We're just gonna ignore that and move on, because they knew that if anything bad was gonna happen, it wasn't gonna be from me, except when it was, because I was an idiot. But so that's the story of how I got this book. And I still have this book. And I'll keep this book probably until somebody else has to get rid of it after I die. And there's the thought. The gifts that you give really can impact someone's life. Because now every time I run into somebody and I'm not afraid of opening up about a book that I'm reading or a TV show that I'm watching or a movie that I'm watching because they might be interested. It might not be a thing that they want to watch, but it might just make a friendship. That even though I have no clue where S is, I left that base before her, never seen her again, never talked to her again. But I still have the book. That's it. Bye.